What's up, everyone? I'm Logan with 89 AutoWorks, and you have 7 days from today to get entered to win one of these awesome prizes we have here. You guys can win any of these things for absolutely free. All you have to do is smash the link below and get entered to win. There's no purchase required, and that makes us absolutely up in the air for anything. Our great friends over at Company 23 went ahead and sent us some goodies to throw into this giveaway. This is one that I don't even own myself, and I can tell you right now, after seeing it, I'm gonna have to pick one up. This is for taking off your flywheel. You'll go ahead and bolt this in place in the back of the motor, and this locks into the teeth on the flywheel, and you can remove your flywheel without having to do something stupid like using a pry bar on the teeth. This really awesome crank pulley tool. This is a great tool because this is universal for pretty much every Subaru out there. You'll be able to take your crank pulley off. These are the two parts that are extremely difficult with the inclusion of the cam gears. So these are a great step in the right direction, and we can't thank Company 23 enough for partnering with this giveaway and donating these parts. You guys have 7 days left to win, and if you guys get hyped about this, I will go ahead and start adding some more things in this last week. So this will be part of the tool giveaway. There's obviously the IAG swag pack that comes with some really cool stuff as well. And then we have our Force Performance FP Green Turbo. This is the big one, guys. You guys could go make some horsepower this summer. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video because my buddy Isaac has no idea what's in store for him. All right, guys, so we just left this guy's house. I didn't even get to tell you guys about this, but something pretty special we got to go do today was we got to go, and Isaac got a new car, and this is something that's extremely exciting for him. And you can see it back there. It is a 2008 Legacy GT Spec.B, and it is freaking mint. So we are got her all loaded up, and we're gonna go hit the road, and I'll see you guys when we get to the shop because we're gonna go start working on this thing a little bit. This is a Texas car, so underneath this thing is really freaking nice, and the interior is absolutely perfect. So that's the big thing here, is that car has 108,000 miles, and it's really, 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 really nice. Interior is absolutely freaking perfect on it. So Isaac's extremely excited, and I'm pretty freaking pumped for him. Isaac, you excited?
Just a little bit, just a little.
You ready to get this shit popping, dude? So we're about to build you the sickest Spec.B that's ever even been. Alright, guys, so we're back at the shop. You guys can see this is Isaac's 2008 Subaru Legacy GT Spec.B. This car is unbelievably nice. There's like literally no, I mean, it's unbelievably nice. So it is a very nice example, and if I'm saying that, that means something. It's like, it's really clean. Interior is the nicest Spec.B interior I've ever seen in my life. So I mean, that's pretty impressive in itself. So just purely out of respect for the owner, or the past owner of this car, we're going to keep some of the details out of this. The guy is unbelievably, just a really cool guy. I mean, honestly, not what you would expect. Unfortunately, going through some shit in life, and you know, that happens. And just really was looking for somebody to buy this car that's, you know, going to appreciate it and love it as much as he does. At least that's my opinion on the situation. I think that that's a pretty accurate one. So the story with this thing, right now, it is currently not running. It was in fully running state. Dale, the guy that we bought this from, had started buying all these parts, and was going to be doing some bolt-ons this winter. Long story short, he had to get rid of it. I'm not going to disclose dollar amounts. The deal was right, and you know, for somebody that would be buying it, that would have to pay somebody to fix it, it probably wouldn't have been a good deal. But seeing as this is what we do, you know, this is, the deal 100% made sense. This thing came with a ton of stuff. And, you know, I mean, not including all the stuff that's already installed on the car. It's got some sick SSR forged rims, and we actually got a set of 5 of them, which is pretty surprising. There's probably going to be a pretty good chance that tomorrow after work, we are going to be cranking on this thing and attempting to go for a first ride tomorrow. Woo! Look what I got, guys. Go get entered. We are going to be taking today, and we are going to be working on this car. Isaac still totally thinks that we're going to be working on this car tonight when he gets off of work, because this car is not far away from running right now. Should be a few hours, I would think, and I should be able to have this car running. The big thing is figuring out tuning and stuff. So the thing I'm trying to do, just purely because Isaac's a good friend of mine and I think he deserves it, I am going to clear my schedule today and we are going to get this car running. It's going to be really something that I'm looking forward to. Guy we got it from was really, really cool and passionate about it, so we're looking forward to getting this car running and, you know, telling him about it, maybe even going and taking him for a ride. We are going to, for now, be putting this car back to basically stock. Most of this we are going to go back to stock on purely just so we don't grenade the, you know, motor. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I popped the fuel lines off and I drained the coolant out of it. I am going to go ahead and pop the cooling system, or the, I guess, cooling the upper coolant bottle off, and then I'm also going to go ahead and start working on removing the intake manifold. So I'm going to set this up on the stand and we are just going to go to town on, you know, getting this thing torn apart so we can get it put back together, because that's going to be the real challenge here, is getting all this stuff off of here, getting it more or less sealed up, and then, you know, getting it running properly. Ta-da! Intake manifold is off. We are at a point now where we can start doing some different things to go back to putting it together. So from this point forward, I went and I pulled the stock turbo off, and the big reason was because I saw it was loose. And if you guys don't know, Subaru up pipe to turbo gaskets, the little triangle shaped one that goes in between the up pipe and turbo, if you loosen those and then you retighten them, they leak 100% of the time. So we are going to replace that gasket, which caused us to have to take everything off. So we're going to replace that gasket, and then we're going to start putting this thing back together. I have the intake manifold on a table over here. We're going to kind of go through that and figure out exactly what things we might need to find to put this back together. I'm seeing that there is some things missing. Mainly like sensors and stuff, but there is a big box of parts in the trunk of this thing, so hopefully the stock sensors are there. I'm going to keep pushing here. We're going to go ahead and slap a Grimspeed gasket, because that's what the car came with, so we're going to slap a Grimspeed gasket under the turbo, bolt that turbo back down, and start working on, you know, getting some of that the other stuff done, you know, for this thing. Is your turbo always leaking? Did you clean this flange? Probably not. Clean this flange up. If you don't clean it up, it's gonna leak. Alright, so the next step here is going to be, I'm going to grab my shop vac. Must have been at some point some sort of rodent that got in this engine bay. There's just acorns and all sorts of shit under where the intake manifold will be, so we're going to get the vacuum out and vacuum all that out. It's just honestly a fire hazard because, you know, if that stuff's been sitting there all winter, or, you know, this car's been sitting for a year now, we just want to make sure that there's nothing that's going to screw us later. So the biggest thing I can't stand is all the evap purge stuff. It is absolutely a nightmare to work with, and especially if you don't have something to go off of. And like, for example, this car, I've never worked on one of these cars before, a 2007, 2008 model. So it's a little bit stressful for me because I've never done this, but I think I have it figured out now. I'm pretty much down to the harness is on the motor, I have the bypass valve tubes hooked up to the inlet, and I have the wiring harness all, you know, more or less hooked up, except for the passenger side. It's got to hook up the AVCS control valve and the cam sensors on that side. I'm just have to finish up this evap stuff and then get the power steering hooked back up, and then yeah, we're getting really close actually. And I mean, it's like, it's 3:21 right now, so I have technically like an hour and a half until Isaac's off work, and I mean, we are cutting it close. So to say the least, I'm going to be probably putting the camera on the tripod and just letting it rip for a while. Alright guys, I've been pushing really freaking hard. Isaac is literally like any minute going to be here. I have to put the downpipe and the intercooler on and this car is ready to start. So I'm going to push really hard, but I am going to say that it's not going to start before he gets here, which sucks, but that's kind of just how these things go. So I'm going to keep pushing, and you fucking busted me.
Ah! Why?
I'm working on this all day. It's about 20 minutes away from starting. Alright guys, and just like that, it has been... Isaac has been here for 5 hours. I have now been working on this car today for a grand total of 14 hours. So, to say the least, some things that happened today that screwed us up. The downpipe. The Grimspeed downpipe, the old style Grimspeed downpipe, the one-piece ones, do not fit on a VF46 turbo, apparently. The wastegate thingy is different, doesn't fit in there. At least that's what we discovered today. And we had some issues with the getting the intercooler stuff all to work properly, and just typical, you know, bolt-on, you know, everything doesn't play nice together. So Isaac just flashed a tune. We ended up going with the Stage 2 California, Arizona, Nevada tune, which is basically the Stage 2 tune that has some timing pulled out of it. that's our safest bet, just because it's going to have some timing pulled out of it. At this point, we are ready to start the car. We are ready to see what's happening here. We literally just have a downpipe on it, so that's pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this thing off. Sounds pretty damn good to me. Alright guys, it runs freaking great. I'm actually unbelievably shocked at how quiet this motor is. Like,
It's quite happy.
very happy motor. Alright guys, so we got the car running. It runs really freaking good. There's definitely some like fine tuning that needs to happen here, but the car runs. We went and put a few miles on it, had no actual issues. We had our DAM all over the place, which is kind of to be expected, especially with, you know, the fact that the car most definitely is not on the correct parts list for the tune that is on. I'm just really happy. Isaac, what's your thoughts here?
Speechless is the only word I can use to describe this right now. I can't believe we just took a Spec.B around the block, for one.
First off, both of us pulling out of the driveway, and we're both like, dude, we're literally we're driving in a freaking Spec.B. And I mean, the hardest part is it's like you get in the interior, and the interior is mint.
Oh,
so it's like,
good.
it takes like 5 minutes to get in and out of the car because you don't want to like drag your ass on the seat. So it's crazy. So I'm really excited about it. I don't know. I'm sure Isaac will probably be out here on Sunday again, and who knows, maybe we'll try to dial it in then. Likely what's going to end up being the plan here is next week we are going to find some time to basically tear this thing back apart. We're going to go through and just fix all the little stuff, put the VF52 on, put the Grimspeed exhaust on, or the downpipe on, make this exhaust setup a little bit better. Yeah, it's on there, to say the least. It's just on there. We did end up putting his single exit NVIDIA on there. Sounds amazing, looks amazing. I'm always a big fan of the Legacies with the single exit. In the next few weeks here, you guys will see more content on this car. We will get this car dialed, and we will take it up, and we will do a legit Cobb Pro tune on it, and we will put down some serious horsepower with it, and stick around. It's going to happen, and I'm sure that Isaac will definitely be down to do some hood rat activities once we get her all tuned up. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm really happy I got to surprise my good friend here with his dream car. So, can't beat that. Alright guys, see you next time.